This is KVUE News Daybreak.
Breaking overnight, Russia claiming a major victory this morning. How they claim they took down the head of ISIS.
And President Trump taking his frustration right to social media. What he's now saying about the Russian investigation.
And a blimp crashes and explodes while professional golfers play nearby. The investigation into what went wrong.
Well, good Friday morning to you, and thank you so much for watching KVUE News Daybreak at 6 a.m. I'm Brandon Jones.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. Let's get right to that top story we're following. It's developing. Russia's military claiming it has killed the leader of ISIS in an airstrike. We're told Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was killed in a Russian strike in late May, along with other senior group commanders. The ministry says the strike came as ISIS leaders gathered in Syria. They say about 30 militant leaders and 300 other fighters were also killed in the strike. The Russian claims that have not been confirmed, though, at this time by the U.S. They're just claims, but we will continue to update the story and get more information as soon as it becomes available.
Well, back here at home, let's take a live look outside right now this morning. Temperatures could reach 100 degrees here in Austin today. You know, we haven't reached 100 degrees since August 12th of last year. So, Erica, it's going to be another hot day for folks.
That's right. Our forecasted high 99 degrees, so just under the 100-degree mark. I wouldn't be surprised if we easily make it in some spots. So we are waking up to some warm temperatures that kick off your Friday. 76 at Enchanted Rock, 75 at Johnson City. Blanco, you're the coolest throughout the hill country at 74, but closer to 80 for our central counties. Austin currently at 78 degrees, and also mid to upper 70s for the eastern counties. Here's your rush hour forecast. A warm and humid start to your day. Partly cloudy this afternoon, highs in the 90s, but it's going to feel like 105 this afternoon when you factor in the humidity. So here's your forecasted high, 99. Could we hit that 100-degree mark? We'll keep a close eye on it here in the KVUE Storm Center. Anavit has an update on traffic this morning. How are the roads shaping up?
Thank you, Erica. Good Friday morning to you all. This is a live look at your TxDOT cameras right outside. Check out this camera right here, 290 at Mopac. Look how beautiful that blue sky is up there. So good Friday morning. No major concerns to talk about this morning, but there is some slower traffic here just south of the river. If you're traveling in from South 7th up to Barton Springs Road on Texas 343, you're driving at about 22 miles per hour there. So that stretch is a little bit slower. If you're driving in Ben White eastbound I-35 to ABIA, a 5-minute commute, you're flying right on through. US 290 traveling westbound 130 toll road to I-35, an 11-minute commute. Guys, back to you at the desk.
All right, thanks so much. Well, new this morning, a North Austin family is without a home after an overnight fire. It happened around 1 last night near North Lamar and Runberg Lane. The Austin Fire Department says something the family was cooking caught fire and spread throughout the inside of the house. 4 adults and 3 children were able to get out safely, thankfully, and thanks to those smoke alarms. Red Cross is currently helping the family.
The expanding investigation into the Russian interference in the election is prompting President Trump to unleash on Twitter. As Candace Gibson reports, a special counsel is now trying to determine if the president obstructed justice.
This morning, a key figure of President Trump's inner circle, possibly under investigation. The Washington Post reporting special counsel Robert Mueller is looking into the business dealings of Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law and senior advisor, as part of the probe into Russia's interference in the election. Kushner's lawyer saying, "We do not know what this report refers to." Mr. Kushner previously volunteered to share with Congress what he knows about Russia-related matters. The new revelation comes after the president himself slammed a Post report that he's now the subject of an investigation by Mueller for possible obstruction of justice. The president on Twitter calling it the single greatest witch hunt in American political history, led by some very bad and conflicted people. He was asked about the report in person.
Mr. President, do you believe that you are under investigation now?
And ignored the question. But the president did call for unity following the shooting that injured Congressman Steve Scalise.
And I have a feeling that Steve has made a great sacrifice, but there could be some unity being brought to our country. Let's hope so.
But hours later, a far cry from that plea, back on Twitter and on the attack, this time going after Hillary Clinton, tweeting, "Why is it that Hillary Clinton's family and Dems' dealings with Russia are not looked at, but my non-dealings are?" Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
All right, 6:04 is your time. Happening today, President Trump is expected to announce a new policy on Cuba. He's laying out some big changes that could affect some American citizens and businesses. Much of the people who travel will be recast throughout tour groups, and while cruises and airlines can remain, their services will likely be limited by this change. Officials say the changes could harm relations between Cuba and the U.S., and of course, we're going to have more on these changes in the next half hour. The annual congressional baseball game in Washington, pitting Democrats against Republicans, hit a home run last night. The first pitch was thrown out by Capitol Police Officer David Bailey. He was hit by gunfire this week when James Hodgkinson started shooting at Republican congressmen and staff gearing up for batting practice in Virginia. The president made his appearance at the game, too, on the Jumbotron due to security concerns.
Tonight's game has taken on a much deeper level of meaning.
When the speaker announced that we were going to do it, every Republican I know and every Democrat said that's the right thing to do. Everybody wants to play.
We want to beat those guys and they want to beat us, and afterwards we're going to give each other a hug and drink beer together.
Lawmakers saying they wanted to send a message of unity with this year's game. Congressman Steve Scalise, also shot Wednesday, is still in critical condition.
An Austin male is in jail this morning accused of shooting a cyclist for no reason. According to police, on June 7th, Merrick Isaacs got into a fight with his girlfriend. A witness told police Isaacs stated that he wanted to shoot or kill someone, and he was forced by Isaacs to drive around Southeast Austin. The witness says Isaacs pointed the gun out of the car window and then shot at a cyclist. That cyclist had serious injuries to his back, shoulder, and head. A curfew for teenagers will continue this summer. Yesterday, the Austin City Council voted to temporarily extend that curfew through October 1st. Now, this means it's still illegal for anyone under the age of 17 to be out in public between 11 p.m. until 6 a.m. Many wanted to eliminate the curfew, like City Councilmember Greg Kassar. He says, quote, the Austin juvenile curfew ordinance targets harmless behavior, wastes scarce public safety resources, and harms young people of color. The council decided to eliminate the daytime curfew between 9 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. on school days.
Well, when life gives you lemons, you take them to the city council so you can sell lemonade. Well, yesterday, the city council gave preliminary approval to a resolution which gets rid of the fee and application process for kids operating stands here in Austin. Because right now, if kids don't get that, they could actually be ticketed for selling lemonade to their neighbors.
Divisive political climate, I just thought it would be nice to have a little levity and be a little funny and have something hopefully that everybody could agree on.
The Public Health Department is now working on creating a formal policy to not require any permits for children's neighborhood beverage stands.
The Austin City Council has approved a plan to limit how many days people can party at 3 major parks. And this means no new events can be scheduled at Zilker Park, Auditorium Shores, and Fiesta Gardens. It's supposed to create a balance between popular events like ACL and the public's free use of the parks.
Well, the Wimberley community is continuing its efforts to help a local business rebuild. A fire destroyed the Cypress Creek Cafe last month. Officials say the fire caused more than $750,000 in damage. They'll be holding a From the Ashes benefit concert tomorrow. It'll take place at the Waters Point in Wimberley from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And tickets cost $15 at the gate or $10 online.
Well, a big recall this morning from Chrysler because of problems with the airbags in some minivans. The automaker says the driver's front airbag can inflate unexpectedly. The recall impacts nearly 300,000 2011 and 2012 model year Dodge Grand Caravan vans. Chrysler is aware of 8 people injured by the airbag. So far, the problem isn't linked to any crashes. Dealers will replace that faulty wiring. Well, Nike is announcing worldwide job cuts this morning. The sports company says they will cut about 1,400 jobs. That's about 2% of its workforce worldwide. It's part of their new strategy to sell products to their customers more directly. They also plan to reduce the number of product lines by 25% and introduce more selections.
All right, 6:09 just about is your time. NBA Finals champions, the Golden State Warriors, have not made a decision on if they'll visit the White House. However, this morning we know one of their big players will not attend. Steph Curry says if they're invited, he has no plans of going. Curry is not the only person on the team that feels that way. Andre Iguodala also says that he won't go and he'll follow the team leader. Their coach, Steve Kerr, has also ripped into President Trump several times, calling him a, quote, blowhard. All right, now let's check on our forecast with Erica.
That's right. It's a warm one in store. As of this morning, we're waking up to temperatures well above average and close to 80 degrees for some. Here's a look at your current temperatures across the viewing area. 78 in Austin, a degree cooler for Bastrop, some lower 70s for the hill country in areas such as Mason, and middle 70s for Fredericksburg. But it's definitely a warm start to our day for much of the Lone Star State. Here's how today's going to play out in Austin. The big story is, are we going to get close to 100 degrees or top out to 100? We will keep a close eye on that temperature. Lots of heat advisories are in place for Dallas, West Texas, up to Kansas City. Not here in Austin, but temperatures still could be on the very, very warm side. Here's a look at your KVUE photo of the morning. Great sunset. This is from yesterday in Georgetown. Our Twitter follower, Texas is Great, which, by the way, we love your Instagram name. You guys can share your photos with us. Just use the hashtag KVUE. We'll be able to catch it on social media and possibly air it on Daybreak. Guys, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Erica. Well, Yvonne, you and I talked about this yesterday. She did it.
She did?
Yeah. Erin Dira Walinda, the wife of famed high wire artist Nick Walinda, completed her own heart-pounding stunt yesterday. She was hanging by her, get this, teeth and toes from a hoop dangling out of a helicopter as it flew over Niagara Falls. She stunned onlookers as she performed the record-breaking feat, telling people afterwards that the stunt was harder than she expected because of the weather.
Oh, the weather always plays a role, especially if it's windy.
I thought she was going to say something a little bit different than that. Hanging by your teeth.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to have some strong teeth.
Right.
Okay, still ahead. Shocking video this morning. A blimp catches fire before crashing near the U.S. Open. The quick reaction that may have saved the pilot's life.
Plus, the family of the American student detained in North Korea for more than a year, speaking to the world this morning, what they're saying about the treatment of their son.